Yeah, so I want to invite you to close your eyes and to hold either a pencil or a pen or something like that on the page and just kind of loosely get to know it without intentionally making marks. What we're doing here is we're creating some space, and breathing in and breathing out. And so, if you're sitting, just see if you can kind of let your torso make the movements for a little bit here, creating space, just breathing in and breathing out and moving the implement. It's not important whether the implement's actually making a mark or not. It's more about finding a settling in your body. Let's let may our bodies be settled. May our spirit be open. May we find all the space that we need to inhabit deep compassion for ourselves and all beings. Just allowing the implement to move and the hand and the body to move in a way that is just kind of feeling what it's like to have slight falls even. I mean, we're falling, but we're not falling, kind of just pivoting here, body pivot from the waist, I guess, perhaps. And however you do it's just right. Feel free to just let my words go in one ear and out the other, and do what brings spaciousness to you with this one implement. And if it feels right, eventually just adding a little more pressure, if you hadn't already, to feel the range of pressure, very light, and now just allowing all of your weight, or a good chunk of your weight, to push the paper. It's okay if the paper moves, if you want to hold the paper with the other hand. Just feeling kind of that vocabulary of how much weight can the pencil or pen just kind of take as it keeps some level of movement on the page. And just a reminder, like however you do it's right. So if spaciousness for you is the tiniest of movements, then that is just perfect. And if spaciousness is larger than the pages, that's perfect, or some other way. It's just right the way you're doing it. There's no way of doing this wrong. So we enter this place of permission, this place of expression, this place of relief, this place of release. Breathing in and breathing out. And at your own time, just find a pause. Just a little stillness here with the implement. And if your eyes have been closed the whole time, feel free to open them and just notice the other supplies you have out there, maybe a pen, and maybe something wet, maybe something dry. And I just want you to note, and I want all of us to note, that we'll return to this spaciousness. So don't worry, I'm gonna invite you to move into something that triggers you, something that maybe upsets you or feels uncomfortable, that maybe feels sad or mad or despairing or hopelessness. And to just take some implement and begin to just allow that to have some space. You're just inviting the pen or the pencil or the charcoal or the coffee to just express that which is hurting right now. And maybe, and really, really let my words just flow through. If they're completely irrelevant, just let them be a rhythm. Don't feel like you have to do it any particular way. I'm just going to suggest some places that you may want to go if you're unclear, or if it's true that maybe in this moment there's something inside that's hurting for the planet, or something that's hurting in the way in which people are responding or not responding to pain, to abuse, to violence, to oppression. So if you're feeling it's all right if you're feeling it inside you, or if you're feeling it in response to other people, whatever really is compassionate to that which is hurting inside. So these kind of marks or this kind of dance on the page is an expression of that pain, and it's just your way. So if it's big bold lines it is, or if it's light little ones, or if the pencil just can't even move because it's so breathless and stuck, that's just fine. It doesn't have to even make a mark. So on the in-breath, we're bringing in that which is uncomfortable, that which is hurting, and on the out-breath, we're sending compassion to that which is there. So it could be that on the in-breath, your hands move the implements into the page with pressure, and on the out-breath, there's some kind of relief or space or kindness towards that which is hurting. Really knowing that there's no right way or wrong way, and that really anything can be expressed. So the compassion could be wet to the dry mark from before, or it might be vice versa. It could be dry to something that was wet. And you're also finding kind of a pace that fits you. Just because my voice is in this slow one doesn't mean that your rhythms and the way you're expressing could be faster, frenetic, or tiny. And just breathing in and out. And on the out breath is the compassion. On the in breath is the place where it hurts. Just saying hello, hello, hello. I know you're hurting. By expressing that which is, maybe that which is frightened, that which is scared to the bone, or that which is feeling love and compassion for all. So also just an invitation that to keep staying true to you. The idea is not to hurt ourselves here, but to express in a way that allows there to be space for the hurt. And as we're here, it's possible to imagine everybody else who could be feeling a version of the same thing and expressing perhaps a version of the same thing in this moment. And by us expressing it, we're offering that expression to those who are maybe stuck in their expression. Really sending that truth there. Our family of beings, human, animal, plant, mineral, spiritual, is large. And the sweet thing is in this dance on the page is that when we offer this, we could imagine those other people doing it in their way, giving themselves that relief they need in this moment, that honesty, that authenticity coming from the gut, coming from the belly or the bowels or the chest or the mouth or the scream or the elbow or the foot. Just your authentic way, your embodiment, your way is just so right, as is everyone else's there. So on the in-breath, just allowing a little more attention on where it hurts. On the out-breath, sending the compassion to yourself and to all those who may be suffering and expressing. At the same time, I want to invite in us this receptivity to the prayers of others, imagining that others are supporting us in our practice of Tonglen, our practice of breathing in that which hurts and breathing out compassion. So there's a big family happening here, a big, big universal consciousness, all supporting one another. Some of us may have a focus a little bit more on kind of how we're hurting. And other of us can maybe send out our compassion to someone who's neutral, or those that are neutral. And then there could be the person who is, or the beings, or the dynamics that are, kind of just a little bit annoying, a little bit caustic, a little bit uncomfortable, sending that feeling. And then there's those who have that label of the other, sometimes the label of the enemy. And even those people have their suffering. And so if it feels right, there's an option to imagine them as well and send compassion or alignment with their suffering. And then compassion, that alignment of here's the hurt I feel. And then here's the compassion. I recently heard a saying, or something, I heard a phrase that was something like this, is the other person's humanity is my weapon. If I'm making peace, I want to be able to connect to my humanity and their humanity. And as a peacemaker, as a nonviolent peacemaker, their humanity is my means towards it. So even being in touch with the humanity of a near enemy, those who annoy or are caustic a little bit, or someone who fits under the category quote unquote enemy, that there's a certain kind of friendliness as we imagine what it might be for them to be in their suffering as we're in ours, in this big composition, in this big dance floor called the planet and the universe. And that sweetness of may you be at ease with being. May I be free from suffering. May you be free from suffering. What are those motions? What is that medium? What is that texture? What is that play? Is it wet or dry, that freedom from suffering? Is it spacious or is it little? Is it tiny? Or is it a large, big acknowledgement? Fireworks or explosions. Not thinking, but feeling, letting the body decide, letting the body express, opening up the heart to what is, and opening up the heart to what can be in this process of breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, that kind of unity, and breathing out, that compassion. And at any point, at your own pacing, I'm going to invite you either with the mediums or not, just to return to that place where we started of spaciousness. This deep soothing breaths of spaciousness for yourself, for those parts that have been hurting inside, and for the others' parts that have been hurting, and for the planet. Just opening up the space, moving out further and further and further, sending the compassion towards the little microscopic parts. And as we telescope out above the planet, flying high, the hands perhaps above the surface, sending love, compassion, spaciousness, openness, gratitude for all that's been expressed, and to all of you and all of us, expressing and feeling in some way to bring compassion towards that which has been hurting. Deep.
Epic. Wow, these are so fun and deep. That was beautiful, Andrew. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.